G'day everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be looking at the USS Montana, the American Tier 10 battleship. Now, the Montana has a long and illustrious history in World of Warships. I think it was one of the initial BBs to be put into the game. Here we're looking at the teams. Our team has a lot of non-clanners, which sometimes puts a team at a disadvantage, but we'll see what we can do. So, the Montana, it's been around for a very long time. It's a difficult battleship to play. Despite being a BB main and playing BBs for many years, it took me a long time before I could start enjoying the intricacies of the Montana. You have 12 guns, an enormous Alpha Strike, I think the best or the second best DPM among all Tier 10 BBs, but quite slow shells that really bleed speed over distance, which makes shooting at 18 or 20 kilometers very difficult, especially if your opponents are dodging. And no special characteristics to the guns. They're just simple 406mm guns. No overmatch, no extreme fire setting abilities, no excellent HE, no very good reload like the Kurfürst. So you're really reliant on your skill to make these guns work. So, let's see. Montana is a battleship that rewards patience, rewards positioning, and it rewards very good shooting. You really need to pick your targets. There's a tasty Zal, but I think he's going to disappear. Yep, just before we can shoot. You really need to aim at the right targets. There's a daring. We snap a shot off. Hopefully we can hit him. You need to be just missed. You need to kind of shoot at ships that aren't expecting you. Montana thrives on what I call set piece shots. You want to shoot at opponents that aren't expecting your shots, aren't maneuvering, and you'll just devastate them with those 12 hard-hitting guns. Shoot at someone who's expecting it, and he's just going to dodge. So you can see a few juicy cruisers around here. I got a nice shot off that Zal. Here's a Des Moines. Got just one hit on that Zal, and a couple of BBs. So you always need to be on the lookout for ships like Des Moines, Baltimore, which are hugging islands and just sitting just behind an island and radaring away. So here's our Des Moines. Let's see, just need a little bit of lead, and we shoot right into the center of the ship. That should do a lot of damage, hopefully, and we get a double Citadel. So you prey on ships like Des Moines with your Shallarks and your spotter planes. You can hit a Des Moines that isn't expecting to be hit or has forgotten that Montana does indeed exist and will hit him just behind an island. Kurfürst can't do that. Kremlin certainly can't do that. Republic can't do that. Conqueror can't do that. It's the Montana that deals that kind of damage and punishes in that way. But your eyes need to be open and you need to look for those opportunities. So, back to the battle. I see our gearing has taken a beating. The enemy daring is just dancing around there in the cap. Hope our Des Moines can kind of do something about him. This Des Moines has radar. Well, this Amalfi, I don't know what he's doing back there. So, I am playing the legendary module. Oh, we lost the other DD. That's not good. I am playing the legendary module. So, my rudder shift is improved. Fires only burn for, I believe, 28 seconds, but my concealment is 15.6 at its minimum. So you really want to keep the enemy at arm's length, unless you can use terrain to mask your position. So I'll see if I can finish off this Des Moines, but he drops off before I can get a shot off. Now, oh, that Des Moines is also dead. This is really not so good. And now Smolensk is dead. Okay, so I don't like it when teams just evaporate this quickly. And when you're playing a game, you know, it's really important to hold onto your ship. Perhaps even more important than dealing damage. If you stay alive, better team players can win the game for you. But if you're dead, you give the enemy points, and you can't tank fire, you can't draw attention, you can't deal damage, you can't do anything if you're dead. So just try and keep your ship alive. It's far more important than dealing damage. Your first priority should be to survive, to take a good position. You can affect the battle without shooting. Just by the threat of you shooting can affect the battle. And these are things you must be aware of with Montana. So let's see. Des Moines is almost dead. Hopefully someone can finish him for us. I've got a Yamato here. There's not really much I can do to him at this angle. I'm just angling slightly to make it a bit harder for him to get massive damage. Of course, he overmatches my bow and stern, but if I angle slightly and he hits the belt, he's going to get ricochet, so that's what I'm hoping to achieve here. Now, I'm shooting at that Vladivostok. He's giving us a bit of broadside, so we can get some damage in. Yamato is just chilling there. He knows he doesn't really have to push. He can just keep us out of the cap. And finally, the Amalfi can finish the Des Moines. So there's the Yamato. I'm just going to aim high. Yamato doesn't have much of a superstructure, but nonetheless, it's what I have to hit if I want to damage him. Aiming low is just going to result in bounces or non-penetrating hits. So he hit us in the side slightly, not too much damage. You see he just fired, so this is when I'm taking my turn. Oh my god, there is the daring. I'm going to turn towards the Yamato. I can see our team is slowly disintegrating, and just running is going to give this Yamato the time to just whittle me down. So see how angled I am? He doesn't get those enormous penetrations. That was a 7,000 damage salvo. It's a rate of trade that we can sustain. We've got 12 guns, so we can just turn in and out between our salvos and shoot him with all 12 guns. We can switch to HE if needed, but we're still getting damage on his superstructure, so we can just continue doing that. But of course, broadside of Vladivostok is not an opportunity I'm going to turn down. So you might have gotten a pretty good salvo there. The trick is here, if he aims directly for my bow and the shots just go into my bow and not the belt, he's going to get consistent penetrations. So our secondaries are opening up on him. Here comes his salvo at 10,000 damage, but you can see our buffed heal is going to take care of a lot of that damage. Montana was buffed in just this or the previous update, and now has that boosted repair pipe that all American non-premium battleships have. So the Yamato is down, the Daring is down, and the Chopper is down. So the game is once again a bit closer. So I'm going to move towards the cap. We did not get this cap. I'll see if I can kill this this Vladivostok. And there we got a very tasty broadside shot for 22,000. We lost 2 ships in rapid succession. That's not so good. Now the Vladivostok doesn't quite know what to do. Now let's see. The Zao? No shots on the Zao. Let's see. The Vladivostok has given us his broadside again. We've got good penetration. We're getting some penetrations. So here this Yamato is asking for help, and I promise to send him a message, which I do after the game. I like it when I see players asking for help, because it's something that the game itself doesn't offer. This chap is asking for help in his Yamato, double citadel there on the Vladivostok at this range, and at that angle it's to be expected. He's almost done. No, that's not so nice. But yes, if anybody asks for help, I'm very willing to help them. This is a very difficult game, and there's very little help available in the game client itself. So it's up to YouTube and just plain old-fashioned study that teaches us what to do in this game. So that Zhao is giving us a big broadside. Now notice I am leading quite a bit. Zhao is fast and my shells are still quite slow. Oh, that's nice. We got a devastating strike. Get some shots off on this Vladivostok, but the Yamato finishes him off for us. So we are very much behind in caps. Our Yoshino has died. It's just myself, the Haku, and the Yamato. So I don't really fancy our chances, but we'll see what we can do. I snap off some shots at this Republic. Again, look at how much I have to lead. Montana shells are slow, so you're going to have to lead a little bit extra. I would say a factor of around 1.5 if you lead X amount or X number for Kurfürst. You're going to need maybe X times 1.5 for Montana at long range because you just bleed so much speed. But the shells still have good penetration. They might struggle with angled BBs, but at range you really want to be black beam cruisers or a perfectly broadside BB. So some damage on that Republic. And now here the CV is going to come after me. I switch my AA priority sector. But still he's going to get his drops on me. There's not really much I can do. He's going to spam me until I'm dead. Now look at that. That was a lot of damage. I was really hoping to be able to turn this battle, but if the CV keeps on me like that, there's nothing I can do really. So we're going to get a snapshot off at this Kurfürst just between the islands. Just a little bit of lead. It has to be done quickly. Bear in mind that being quick with your shooting and your aiming is important in this game. You saw that shot was had a very small window. You really need to be ready to shoot, and you really need to predict where and when the enemy is going to appear and shoot quickly. So we're going to come out of here. Once again, the CV is coming for me. But it looks like this Kurfürst is going to give us his side, so we're going to give him, see how close to the midway is. He's 13 kilometers away. That's why he can spam planes so much. I'm going to give this Kurfürst a 12-gun salute, and we'll see what we can do. So remember, with German BBs, they don't have a citadel, so there's no point in aiming straight at the waterline. You can just aim a little higher. Got a very decent salvo, but unfortunately we've taken too much damage and we're going to die. So 213,000 damage, pretty good if I may say so. The battle is going to end quite quickly. But that's just a brief look at how Montana plays. We'll be doing more videos on this tricky battleship. Thank you and see you next time.